Hello guys, welcome to the lecture 10 of machine learning series. From our past few videos, we have been moving forward in our machine learning development life cycle. Okay, in our previous video, we have discussed entirely about framing and machine learning problem. Now, the next immediate step after framing and machine learning problem is gathering of the data. Okay, gathering of the data. This gathering of the data is very much important step. Okay, this gathering of the data is very much important step. Okay, now I'll be telling you why this step is very much important. Okay, now to understand the importance of this step, you need to understand the importance of the data. Okay, in an machine learning problem statement, okay, in a machine learning problem, what is the importance of the data? Okay, now I'll be explaining you with an example. Now let us say we have very simple algorithm. Okay, we have very simple algorithm or very simple machine learning model. Now if you train the simple algorithm on a lot of data, okay, let's say you have trained this algorithm on good quality of data. Okay, lot of data and good quality of data, lot of data plus good quality data. Okay, good quality data. Now the results of this simple algorithm or simple machine learning model are exceptionally good. Okay, they can give up to 95% accuracy as well. Okay, they can go up to 95% accuracy as well. Okay, whether it may be in training accuracy or it may be in test accuracy. Okay, now let us take another scenario. Now let us say you have more complex algorithm. Okay, more complex algorithm, and it's just like a random forest. Okay, think it as a random forest and think it as a simple linear regression. Okay, now you have trained this more complex algorithm, more complex machine learning model on less amount of data. Okay, on less amount of data. Okay, but the less amount of data is of good quality. Okay, is of good quality. Now when you train this more complex algorithm on this less amount of data, the results of this more complex algorithm are poor. Okay, are definitely poor, and they may reach up to 70% accuracy. Okay, whether here you are getting 95% accuracy. If you train a simple algorithm on more complex data, you are reaching up to 95% accuracy. But here in second case, if you are training more complex algorithm on less amount of data, you are reaching up to 70% accuracy. Okay, this is the change. Okay, this is the importance of the data. Okay, this is the importance of data. So in machine learning development life cycle, gathering of the data is a very important step. Okay, it is very important step because there is a lot of importance of data in training and machine learning algorithm and to solve the problem. Okay, to solve the problem of a machine learning, okay, business problem or machine learning problem. Okay, this is the importance of the gathering of the data step. Okay, now let us see different ways to gather the data. Okay, now let us see different ways to gather the data and the techniques that we'll be discussing in our further videos. Okay, gathering of data will be having various techniques. Okay, we'll be having various techniques, but among them the most important steps are, first is CSV files. CSV files are readily available files. Okay, these are readily available files. Now if you go to Kaggle or any website, okay, if you go to Kaggle or any like any website that gives you readily available data, they provide mostly CSV files. Okay, they provide mostly CSV files, right? Now these CSV files are comma separated values. Okay, they don't need much pre-processing. Okay, they definitely require pre-processing, but gathering is very much easy. Okay, they are readily available data. Okay, the CSV files are readily available data. I'll be explaining you with an example. Now let us say we have Kaggle website. Okay, now if you download the Kaggle dataset, it will be downloaded in zip file, right? It will be downloaded in zip file. Okay, when you try to unzip this zip file, the file format that you get is CSV file. Okay, the file format that you get is CSV file. Okay, this is the readily available data. CSV files are readily available data. Now the second type is JSON or SQL. Okay, JSON or SQL file formats. Okay, this is the second type of data. Now this JSON means JavaScript object notation, and SQLs are nothing but the tabular format. Okay, the data is in the form of tables. Okay, now this is the second type. Now the third type is fetching. Okay, fetching through API. Through API. Now let us say you have some app or okay, you have an app. Okay, now let's say you have an app, you have all the users data. Okay, now in this app, okay, in this app you have all the users data. Now let's say it is Facebook. Okay, let's say this app is Facebook. Now the Facebook has all the users data, right? Okay, it has all the users data with age, gender, name and everything. Okay, age, gender, name and everything. Okay, it has the data about a person, right? Now when you want to gather this data, okay, when as a person you want this data, you need to definitely fetch through an API. Okay, you need to definitely hit the API of the Facebook and complete all the security checkups. Okay, and then the Facebook will be readily giving you the data. Okay, this is through fetching through API. Okay, now in future if you work with the complex like complex problem statements, the data sometimes will be available in MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB. For this you need to log into MongoDB and create an API token, and you need to hit the API token to gather the data. Okay, to gather the data. Okay, this is another type. Okay, this is another type which you will be working in future. Okay, now this is the fetching of data through an API. Okay, the API is nothing but application program interface. Okay, application program interface. Why this APIs are basically introduced is to enable the connection between front end and back end. Okay, they enable the connection between front end and back end. Okay, now now only the user can view the front end but not the back end. Okay, he doesn't have any access to the back end, he can only view the front end. Okay, so this is the importance of API key. Okay, any queries or anything the user want to make, he can directly type in the front end, and through APIs the certain information, okay, the certain information goes to the backend, and this comes this again retrieves back through APIs to front end. Okay, the results are retrieved back to front end, okay, through APIs. Okay, this is the main purpose of API. Okay, now next, web scraping. Okay, web scraping is also another type of technique where let me take an best example. Let's say I have IIT Hyderabad website. Okay, in this IIT Hyderabad website I have the data of students. Okay, I have data of students. Okay, I have data of all the students, that student name and branch and package. Okay, the package of the student. So in this way I have data. Okay, I have some tabular format data, but it is not downloadable. Okay, the data is not downloadable data. Okay, it is just present in the site. Okay, it is just present in the site. Now how as a user, how can I fetch that data? Okay, through web scraping. Okay, web scraping help you fetch the data. Okay, when the file format is not downloadable, okay, it is just available on the website. Okay, you can visually see that data, but you can't download it. Okay, now as a person you can't download it. So in these cases, okay, in these cases you can fetch the data using web scraping. Okay, these are the different types of gathering data. Okay, first is CSV files, next is JSON or SQL, next is fetching through API. You hit the API token and get back the data, and third is web scraping. Okay, sorry, fourth is web scraping. Now in this video what we will be seeing is we'll be working with CSV files. Okay, we'll be working with CSV files. Okay, these CSV files are nothing but comma separated values. The data are stored in, okay, the data is basically stored in this format. Okay, the data is stored in this format. Okay, now each row is separated by comma. Okay, each row information is separated by comma. Now let's say we have the same data, name, branch, package. Okay, we have the same data, name, branch, package. Now here I have Rahul, branch let's say CSC, and his package is around 5.6. Okay, now how this data, okay, this is an tabular data, right? This is an tabular data, but when you convert it into a CSV format, now it is basically stored in this format, Rahul CSC 5.6. okay, now again second row of data second row of data comes here. Okay, in this way the different rows of data are stored by comma separated values. Okay, CSV means comma separated values. Okay, each row is separated, each block is separated by comma. Okay, Rahul is separated CSC 5.6 and next row. So in this way you will be having comma separated values. Now when you like this CSV format files can be easily represented in the format of table. Okay, now I'll be showing you everything with an code example, and also we'll be seeing the various functions that we can apply and various pre-processing steps that we can apply on the CSV files, right? Yeah, now let us see different functions or pre-processing steps that can be applied on the CSV files. Okay, first, to work on the CSV files, you need to import pandas. Okay, you need to import pandas. Make sure you have installed pandas. Okay, then import pandas. Okay, import pandas as PD. Okay, now first, to read an CSV file. Okay, to read an CSV file, we need to write df is equal to, okay, this df is optional. Okay, you can give any variable over here. Df is equal to pd.csv, pd.read_csv. Okay, this read CSV function is used to read an CSV file. Okay, it is used to read an CSV file. Now before giving this path, okay, before giving this path, make sure that you have uploaded the file in the Google Colab. Okay, you have uploaded the file in the Google Colab, or it may, if you are working in VS Code, you need to upload the file in the VS Code. Okay, just click on this file. Okay, this arrow, and then upload the files. Okay, then upload the files. Right now, after uploading the file, okay, after uploading the file in the single quotes, or it may be double quotes. Okay, in the single quotes or it may be double quotes, you need to just click on this 3 dots and copy path. Okay, just to copy path and just paste the path over here. Okay, just you need to paste the path over here. Okay, that's it. Then run the cell. Okay, then run the particular cell. You see that the comma separated values are represented in a tabular format. Okay, the comma separated values are just represented in the form of tabular format. Okay, the significance of this is read_CSV. Okay, read_CSV is a function that is responsible to convert this comma separated values to a tabular format. Okay, the tabular format. Okay, so this is the first type. Okay, this is type 1. How you print the data. Okay, how you readily CSV, how you read and readily available CSV file. Okay, now the second type. Okay, now the second type. Now let's say the data is present in some particular URL. Okay, now in our case, our data is present in some others GitHub repo. Okay, the data is present in some others GitHub repo. Okay, now when the data is present in some other GitHub repo, in these cases, okay, in these cases, you need to just go to their GitHub repo and click on the dataset. Okay, you'll be seeing that dataset over there. Just you need to click on the dataset and just copy the link. Okay, just copy the link. Okay, after copying the link, just paste that link over here. Okay, just you need to paste that link over here. After pasting the link over here, okay, after pasting the link in the single quotes or double quotes, then you need to write pd.read_csv. Okay, the same function is used. Okay, the same function is used for URLs and the readily available files. Okay, the readily available files. Okay, you'll be having the same function. Okay, you'll be having the same function. Just you need to give the path over here. After uploading the file in the Google Colab, you just need to give the path over here, but in this case you need to provide the URL. Okay, you need to just provide the URL. Okay, this is the Titanic dataset. Okay, the dataset that is present in that link is the Titanic dataset. Now I have just given the URL and I'm just running the cell. Okay, you see that this is the tablet data that is present in that particular URL. Okay, in this way, if if the data is present in any URL, you just need to copy that particular URL and just you need to paste it over here in the pd.read_csv, and if you run, the data is fetched from the URL. Okay, next, sub parameter. Okay, this sub parameter is very much important to read tab separated values. Okay, you need to read different file formats. Okay, you need to read different file formats. Now in our case, let us take TSV files. Okay, let us take TSV files. Now TSV files are not separated by commas. Okay, are not separated by commas. Okay, they are very similar to CSV files. Okay, they are very much similar to CSV files, but they are separated by /t. Okay, they are separated by /t. Okay, I'll be explaining you with an example. Now let us say I'm taking the same data, Rahul CSC 5.6. Okay, now Rahul /t. Okay, you just write /t instead of commas. Okay, CSE /t and 5.6 /t. Okay, in this way you write /t instead of commas. Okay, these are nothing but TSV files. Okay, tab separated values. Okay, TSV means tab separated values. Now to read this tab separated values, we use this sep parameter. Okay, we use this sep parameter. Now what happens if we don't use sep parameter? Okay, now I'm using the same pd.read_csv. Okay, pd.read_csv, and I'm providing the file path. Okay, this is my file path. Okay, I have the file. Okay, sample_data.tsv file over here, and I'm just providing the file path over here. Okay, I'm just providing the file path over here. Now what this pd.read_csv does is, it is searching for the comma values. Okay, it is searching for the comma values instead of /t. It is searching for the comma values. So that is why it has unable to fetch those comma values. So that is why it has printed the data in an unorganized manner. Okay, you see that the data is very much unorganized, right? So if you write sep parameter, okay, if you write sep parameter is equal to /t, if you write sep parameter is equal to /t, then you can see that the data is printed in an organized manner. Okay, the data is printed in an organized manner. Now in case of CSV files, this /t, okay, this /t is comma. Sorry, instead of writing /t, you just write comma over here. Okay, you just write comma over here. Okay, this is the sep parameter for TSV files, and the sep parameter for CSV files is comma. Okay, now this is how you read and tab separated values. Okay, now next is names parameter. Okay, this names parameter, okay, this names parameter is basically used to give the name to the columns. Okay, you just give the name to the columns. Now let us say we have the data this way. Okay, we have the data this way. Let's say unnamed. Okay, unnamed 0, this is first column. Unnamed 1, this is second column, and unnamed 2, this is my third column. In this way I have 3 columns, and I have data over here. Okay, I have the data of students over here. This is let's say same Rahul, CSC, and 5.6. In this way I have data, but I don't have any column name. Okay, right, I don't have any column name. So what happens in this case is, it is very difficult to understand what data is present over here. Okay, now what data engine is doing, okay, what data engine is doing is they just study the entire column. Sorry, they study the entire rows. Okay, they study the entire rows and entire data, and they give their own column names. Okay, they give their own column names in these cases. Okay, in these cases, okay, they give their suitable column names. Okay, now you can see that in our case I have given ID. Okay, this is just for sample purpose. I have given name, age, city, score. Okay, these are the column names I have provided, and the column names are updated. Okay, from name, okay, from before it was ID, name, age, city, score, right? Now, but now I have provided the names as ID, name, age, city, score. They have updated to ID, name, age, city, score. Okay, from name it is updated to name. Okay, in this way you can give your own column names. Okay, you can give your own column names through names parameter. Okay, names parameter helps you give the column names. Next, index column parameter. Okay, index column parameter. Now in some cases what happens is, you'll be having data in this way. Okay, movie ID, movie name, and rating. Okay, in few cases you will be having the data in this way. Okay, or you may also have roll number, name, age. Okay, these are the two cases. Okay, these are the two cases where you have unique IDs, right? Movie ID is always unique, and roll number is always unique to a student, right? Movie ID is always unique to a movie, and roll number is always unique to a student. Now in these cases, okay, in these cases you don't again need separate, right? Okay, separate column like ID. Okay, separate column like ID. You just want to transform this particular roll number as your ID. Okay, in generally what happens is, when you write pd.read_csv, it automatically assigns an index. Okay, it automatically assigns an index. Okay, now after assigning the index, what happens is, you will be having a separate again column added over here, that is index. Okay, index, ID. okay, you will be having again separate column added. Okay, means here you are having two IDs. Okay, one is assigned by pd.read_csv and one is like built in your dataset. Okay, here also you have id as an extra column and roll number as your another id. Okay, you are basically having two IDs. Okay, so in this case what you do is you set in idx parameter. Okay, you just set idx underscore column parameter. Okay, idx column. Okay, idx underscore call is equal to id. In this case what happens is the id, okay, the id column that was inbuilt in your dataset becomes your id. Okay, that becomes your index. Okay, that becomes your index. Okay, in our case what you do, you just write idx call is equal to movie id. Okay, idx call is equal to movie id. Okay, when you write this, this gets eliminated and this becomes your index. Okay, the movie id becomes your index. Okay, this is the importance of idx column parameter. Okay, idx column parameter. Next is header parameter. Okay, next is header parameter. Now in some cases what happens is, I'll be showing you. Let's say this is the tabular data. Okay, let's say this is the tabular data, and sometimes what happens in case of tabular data is the column names, okay, the column names become the first row. Okay, due to some pre-processing issues or some sometimes when you directly collect the data is in the format of this way. Okay, the first row becomes the column name. Okay, the column names are just they just come down to first row. Okay, the column names just come down to first rows. Okay, name, roll number, package. So in this way the column names, okay, these are basically column names, they come down as first row. Okay, they come down as first row, and we'll be having the rest of the data over here. Okay, now in this case, okay, in this case what you do is you just set header parameter. Okay, you just set header parameter as 1. Okay, so when you set this as 1, the first row, okay, the first row becomes a column. Okay, the first row becomes a column name. Okay, now for easy demonstration what I have done is, this is basically my first row. Okay, this is basically my first row. Okay, before writing this header as 1, wait, just let me just remove this. Yeah, before I have unnamed 0, unnamed 1, unnamed 2, unnamed 3 as my column names. Okay, as my column names. Now you can see that my first row is 0, 52, a 0.5 something. Okay, some values. Okay, I have some values over here. Now I am making header as 0, means my first row becomes, just a second, why, yeah, my first row is becoming my column name. Okay, you can see that my first row is becoming my column name. Yeah, this is basically the significance of header parameter. When first row, okay, when in first row you have your column names. Okay, when you have your column names, to transform that to column names, so to transform that back to the column names, you write header parameter. You basically use header parameter and is equal to index. Okay, is equal to index or id. Okay, is equal to index or id. Okay, next, use calls parameter. Use calls parameter. Now while importing the data, okay, while bringing the data from server or somewhere, okay, some file or server, you just use only few columns. Okay, generally you don't use all the columns. Okay, generally to solve any machine learning or deep learning problem, you don't use entire columns. Okay, you don't just use entire hundreds of columns, but you just figure out only few of the columns. Okay, so for that we use columns parameter. Okay, we use calls parameter. Okay, now we basically have, okay, this is big employees dataset. Okay, this big employees dataset, I have used it somewhere over here, right? Yeah, this is a big employees dataset. It has basically around id, name, age, department, salary. It has around 5 columns. Okay, it has around 5 columns. Now I want to more simplify this. I want to more simplify this dataset by removing all the columns and only extracting the name column. Okay, only extracting the name column. So for this, what I have done is I have used this use calls parameter. Okay, use calls parameter. Use calls is equal to name. Okay, so while extracting the data set, it only extracts with only one, okay, single column name, that is name. Okay, single column name, that is name. Okay, this is the use of use calls parameter. Okay, this use calls basically is used when the data set is very much larger. Okay, it has more dimensions in it and you want only fewer columns from that. Okay, so in that case you give the required column names and just run the cell. You will be having all the required columns over here. Okay, and all the unnecessary columns are eliminated. Okay, this is the use of use calls parameter. Then skip rows. Okay, then skip rows. Now this skip rows is basically used to remove few of the rows. Okay, now let's say I have some hundreds of rows. Okay, I have hundreds of rows. Now in that hundreds of rows I need to remove few of the rows. Okay, I need to remove few of the rows. Now to remove few of the rows, I write skip rows is equal to those index. Okay, index number. Okay, index number I write. Okay, I just write index numbers over here. Okay, let's say 1 comma 2. Okay, 1 comma 2 means I am eliminating first and second. Okay, first and second. Okay, on the basis of 5D I am eliminating, so that is why this index become first comma second. I am eliminating first 2 rows and I am getting the remaining rows. Okay, remaining 3 rows and rest. Okay, rest of the rows. Okay, this is the significance of skip rows parameter. Basically this skip rows parameter is used with the help of functions. Okay, now based on that condition, if a certain condition is true, then those rows must be skipped. Okay, so you write it with the help of function. Okay, this skip rows, you don't just randomly eliminate rows, but you write it with help of a function. Okay, now let us say we have a case where let's say name, gender and age. Name, gender, age. Now in this data I have 100 rows. Okay, I have basically 100 rows. Now among these 100 rows I have 80 men and 20 women. Okay, you see that this data is totally imbalanced, right? This data is totally imbalanced. Now what you do is, okay, now what you do is you set a condition. Okay, you basically set a condition and you eliminate this row. Okay, you eliminate the rows with men. Okay, you eliminate the rows with men and cut down to 20. Okay, just cut down to 20 so that the data becomes balanced, 20 men and 20 women. Okay, 20 men and 20 women. So in this way, with the help of functions, okay, you use it with help of functions to cut down the rows. Okay, to cut down the rows. Okay, this is the significance of skip rows parameter. Okay, it skips the rows based on a certain condition. Okay, in our case we have just randomly skipped to based on the index, but you basically use it with an function. Okay, you basically use it with an function. Okay, next is n rows. Okay, now let us say you have a data set with around 10,000 rows. Okay, 10,000 rows. Now processing this 10,000 rows, okay, processing this and training a model with this 10,000 rows is very much difficult, right? Is very much difficult and is very much computationally expensive. So what you do is you cut down the rows. Okay, you just cut down the rows. Now from 10,000, if I set n rows is equal to 1,000. Okay, n rows is equal to, if I set 1,000, then out of 10,000 rows I'll be only having 1,000 rows. Okay, I'll be only having 1,000 rows. Okay, this is the significance of n rows parameter. Okay, n rows parameter is also used to cut down the rows, but it only selects, okay, it only selects the number, okay, the number that is specified over here. Okay, that is specified for this parameter. Now I have set n rows is equal to 4. It only selects first 4. Okay, it only selects first 4 rows. Okay, it does not randomly select based on any condition, but it only selects the sequential first rows. Okay, it selects the rows sequentially. Okay, first 4 rows are selected and rest of the rows are eliminated. Okay, this is the significance of n rows parameter. Next is encoding parameter. Okay, this encoding parameter is also very much important. Now basically most of the files, okay, most of the files are UTF-8 encoded. Okay, they are UTF-8 encoded. Now in few cases, okay, in few cases we'll be having some certain files where the language is not English. Okay, the language is not English and some Latin letters are present in that particular data set, or some images or some emojis may be present in that data set. So they are differently encoded. Okay, they are differently encoded. In that case, we say that encoding is totally different. Okay, basically the English. Okay, basically let's say we have English files. Okay, the CSV files are entirely written in English. Okay, entirely written in English. So that particular encoding is called UTF-8 encoding. Now, other than this, if we have some Latin language, okay, some Latin language or some different characters we have. Okay, if let's say we have some different characters, okay, some unique or different characters, or let's say if some emojis are present in that particular CSV file, so in that case it is not UTF-8 encoded. Okay, it is not UTF-8 encoded. You can see that I have just extracted that file. Okay, I have just got that file. Now I am running this cell. Okay, I am running this cell. You can see that it is showing Unicode decode error. Okay, Unicode decode error. Unicode decode error means the file format. Okay, the file format is not UTF-8. Okay, the pd.read underscore CSV defaultly sets this encoding parameter as UTF-8. Okay, the pd.read underscore CSV sets the encoding parameter defaultly as UTF-8. But in case if you don't provide UTF-8 encoded files, okay, in case if you don't provide UTF-8 encoded files, you need to specify the encoding. Okay, you need to specify the encoding. Okay, I have specified here. Okay, Latin 1. Okay, you can see that the characters are unique, right? E you have in different way, A you have in different way. You can see that the entire language is different. So the encoding changes. Okay, the encoding changes. I'm specifying the encoding over here, that is Latin 1. Okay, in this way you read different encoded files. Okay, you can read different encoded files. Okay, whenever you see Unicode decode error, means you need to definitely change the encoding of that file. Okay, you need to definitely change the encoding of that particular file. Okay, from UTF-8 to some different encoding. Okay, now skip bad lines. Okay, skip bad lines is also I don't see it that great parameter, but what it does is, okay, I'll be telling you what it does. Whenever you see parser error, okay, whenever you see parser error, then you need to understand that it is an wait just a second. Yeah, now let us say we have name, gender, age. Okay, in this way I have some certain data. Okay, I have some certain data. Okay, let's say I don't have the separation like this. Okay, I don't have the separation like this. Okay, now this is the data format. Now I expect the data to be Rahul, male, 36. Next, let's say Arjun. Okay, let's say Arjun, and I have a column. Okay, I have a column, but there is no certain column name for that. Okay, let's say that how I'll be showing you how the data format looks like. Arjun, let's say employee. Okay, let's say employee, male, 40. Okay, you see that the data set is entirely different. Okay, now in each row, if I'm expecting 3 values, here you see that I have got 4 values. Okay, these are nothing but bad lines. Okay, these are nothing but bad lines. Okay, you'll be having some extra value. Okay, some extra value in a particular row. Okay, in a particular row you have one extra value. Okay, this is the bad lines. Okay, this is a problem of bad lines. When you have the problem of bad lines, you will be having the parser error. Okay, you will be having the parser error. Then for that you need to do on bad lines is equal to skip. Okay, you just need to skip those bad lines. Okay, while reading the data, the pd.read underscore CSV automatically skips those lines. Okay, automatically skips those lines, and only it provides the proper lines. Okay, proper number of rows. Okay, so this is the significance of on bad lines. Next is d types parameter. Okay, d types parameter is basically used to change the data type of a particular column. Okay, now let's say this is I'll be showing you. Okay, now let's say this is my data set. You can see that here age has, okay, here the age data type is integer. Okay, you can see that age data type is integer, but if I choose, okay, if I choose d type is equal to age, I am converting to float. Okay, you can see that age I am converting to float. So the integer age has converted to float. Okay, the integer age has converted to float. Okay, so this is what d types parameter does. Okay, this is what d type parameters does. It is basically used to change the data type. Okay, change the data type of any particular column. Okay, any particular column or group of columns. Okay, now to handle the data. Okay, now basically the dates are stored in, okay, the dates are stored in object format. Okay, the dates are basically considered as strings. Okay, in an data set the dates are considered, okay, the dates column is considered as strings, but we can override that. Okay, we can override that by this particular parameter, that is parse underscore dates. Sorry, by parse underscore dates you need to specify that column name. Okay, parse underscore dates is equal to that column name, then it is converted to date times 64. Okay, now you can add all the functionalities. Okay, you can use all the functionalities of dates. You can use all the functionalities of dates on that particular column. Okay, on that particular column you can apply any functionalities of dates, like extracting the month, extracting the year, extracting the date separately. So in this way you can add some functionalities. Okay, in this way you can add some functionalities. Okay, from object. Okay, from object we are converting to date time 64. Okay, this is the significance of parse underscore dates. Next is converters. Okay, next are nothing but converters. These converters are used to convert any particular value. Okay, they are basically used to convert any particular value. Now let's say this is our data set. Okay, this is our data set. Okay, this is the data set after pre-processing, but before pre-processing, how this data set used to look is gender is nothing but female. Okay, here instead of F I used to have female. Okay, instead of male I used to have male. Okay, sorry, instead of M I used to have male. Okay, instead of F I used to have female, instead of M I used to have male. Okay, now what I have done is to more simplify this. Okay, to more simplify this I have written a function. Okay, I have written a function. Okay, what this function does is, if name is equal to male, okay, if name is equal to male it returns M, and if it returns F, if it returns others. Okay, else it returns others. Now I am applying this function. Okay, I am applying this enter function on this gender. Okay, on this gender column you can see that converters is equal to gender rename. Okay, I am just applying that particular function on this particular column. Okay, on this particular column. Okay, so that this column is transformed. Okay, so that this column is transformed from female to F, from male to M. So in this way I am transforming. Okay, in this way I am transforming the values in that particular column. Now let us say in some cases you will be having let's say IPL team. IPL team is RCB. Okay, Royal Challengers Bangalore. Okay, now I want to convert it to RCB. You can use this converters. In some other cases you will be having fail or pass. Okay, fail or pass. Now pass is P, fail means F. Okay, you can use converters to convert this kind of data. Okay, you can use converters to convert this kind of data. You can just provide some short names. Okay, you can just provide some short names. Okay, now next is NA values. Okay, NA values. Now in certain scenarios, in certain data, what happens is instead of NA values, okay, instead of NA you may have some dash. Okay, you may have some dash. Okay, now this kind of data is not much preferred while training and machine learning model. Okay, machine learning or deep learning model. Okay, you don't prefer these dashes. Okay, you don't prefer these dashes or some leaves empty. Okay, sometimes there may be nothing. Okay, there may be nothing. Okay, so in these scenarios you just fill them with NN values. Okay, NN values. Okay, NN values. Okay, you just set NA underscore values is equal to that particular in our case with, for example, I have shown female. Okay, for example I have shown female because I don't have an data set with that particular dashes. Okay, so what I have done is I have selected particular value and I want to set it as NN values. Okay, I want to set it as NN values. Before it was F. Okay, before it was F. Now it has been transformed. Okay, from female it has been transformed to NN. Okay, it has been transformed to NN. So in this way the dashes can be converted, or some any other characters can be any unique characters can be transformed to NN values. Okay, if you want them to be transformed, you can transform using NA values. Okay, NA values parameter. Okay, this is the significance of NA values parameter. You can transform and dash or some any unique characters to NN. Okay, to NN, or empty spaces. Okay, or any empty spaces to NN. Okay, you just need to provide that particular value. Okay, now here if I give male, sorry, it's not capital. Yeah, even male is transformed to NN. Okay, in this way you can transform multiple values as well. Okay, multiple values in the same table as well. Okay, now loading dataset in chunks. Okay, now basically what happens is, in case you have lots of data, some lakhs of data, okay, some lakhs of rows, and all that data, okay, all those rows are important for you. Okay, all those rows are important for you. Now loading this entire dataset, or loading this entire dataset into memory at once is not possible. Okay, memory can't handle it. Okay, the memory can't handle this entire load of data. Okay, so what you can do is you can divide this dataset into chunks. Okay, by defining particular chunk size. Okay, by defining particular chunk size, you can split the data into chunks. Okay, now let's say I have 100 rows of data. I have chosen chunk size is 5. Then 5 rows become one chunk, next 5 rows become one chunk, next 5 rows become one chunk. So in this way I'll be having 20 chunks. Okay, in this way I'll be having 20 chunks when I have 100 rows and chunk size is 5. Okay, in this way this helps in solving the problem of memory issues. Okay, some memory issues. Okay, you're not just putting much load on the memory. Okay, you are not putting much load on the memory, you are just decreasing the load on the memory by loading the data in the form of chunks, but not loading the data everything at once. Okay, everything at once. Okay, these are all the parameters that you need to basically have an idea. Okay, if you go to read_CSV documentation, you will be having more parameters. So based on your problem statement, you can just pick your parameter. Okay, based on the problem you face in future, you can pick that particular parameter. Okay, I'll be providing this entire notebook in the description. Okay, you may think that from where did I get all these files? I have just generated from the ChatGPT. Okay, even based on your problem statement and your work, you can generate readily available dataset from ChatGPT or any LLM. Okay, it's on you. Okay, it's totally on you. Okay, this is the entire video on read_CSV. Okay, today we have worked on CSV files, and in the next video we'll be working with different file format. Okay, this is all about read_CSV. Hope you guys like this video. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.